welcome everyone. So we are here at the session with all the ladies here. We are doing an awesome session for you for social impact and everything about how you can deal with difficult situations with community effort. Welcome ladies, enjoy your show, and I go backstage to help you during the session. Bye bye.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Natasha.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So, I will be your moderator as well as one of the speakers for our topic today on social impact empowerment. How do we help one another through difficult times via community effort? Okay, let's introduce ourselves to our wonderful audience. Can we have Kanchana?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm from South Africa, so it's about 7 o'clock here at the moment. I'm a business humanizer and a partner at Innate Motion, who are the pioneers in building brands for humanity, or better talked about as purposeful brands. I'm also the co-founder of the Beauty Revolution, which is the largest and boldest beauty festival based on inclusivity and diversity. In a country like South Africa, which it has as DNA separation and divisiveness. I'm also a yoga teacher. Haven't been teaching for a while over the last 3 years since work's gotten very busy. But since COVID's been back, I've been back into practice, which has been really good. And I'm very excited about meeting everybody and sharing some knowledge on how we can impact each other as a community.
Sounds good. Thank you. How about Alia? Tell us more about yourself. Dato Aliyah Karen? Okay, we'll come back to her. Roselin?
Hi, I'm Roslyn. I'm a digital marketing trainer, mentor consultant, as well as a social entrepreneur. I'm also a co-founder of Moms Village, where we work with abused women who wants to rebuild their life. And I'm very much passionate about women having financial independence in their life. I believe every woman should earn something on their own so that the self-esteem will never die off. So that's very important for me. And so that's about me. Short and sweet.
Thank you. Vatsala? Vatsala, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, my name is Vatsala. Nice meeting all of you wonderful women here. So in one word, I help women to rebuild their life, especially post-crisis. I am a social entrepreneur as well. I'm the founder of Moms Village, and together with Rose, we help women, of course, on the socioeconomic empowerment. Our specific beneficiaries are women who are being abused. So I want to give the liberty to women to decide whether she wants to live in an abusive relationship or she leaves, she walks away being self-sustainable. So we do a lot of training programs, and here we are today to talk about our journey and how we can, as a community, support those who are around in the ecosystem. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Hi, Aliyah. Hi. Welcome. Can you give us a short intro on yourself? Aliyah, you need to unmute your headphone.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, the line's not too good, so I do apologize. I've been with foundations for more than 2 decades.
Okay, we'll have to come back on Aliyah as she tries to reconnect her into our session again. Let's go with Tanu.
Hi everyone, nice to see you all here and welcome to our audience for this global summit. Well, my name is Shree and I'm an artist and a speaker. Also, I'm a co-founder of Art Palettes by Tanu, where I'm just helping the other artists during this crisis, COVID time, especially where their family runs only basis of the artwork. So I'm just trying to, collaborate with the other buyers who can just buy their artworks and their family are just running through this work. So this is all I am, and of course I'm a mother of 2 kids as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Kayatthri.
Hi, let me introduce myself. My name is Kayatthri. I'm actually an entrepreneur. I'm running a social media agency servicing corporate clients in Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. And I also have a training company whereby I train on social proof skills, future proof skills and social media trainings, right? And I also work with a few NGOs based in Malaysia on youth empowerment, single mothers. I'm very passionate about helping single mothers and as well as refugee empowerment. So very short and simple introduction about me. Thank you.
Thank you. Bhawna? Bhawna?
Everyone, Jai Mata Di. This is Bhawna. I'm founder of charity Travel for Foundation. I'm a darling daughter of my mom, Mrs. Kamla Arora. She passed away in 2017, and since then we have been running a legacy in her memory. And I'm also an ambassador with Universal Peace Federation London. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about loving people, helping people, being happy, and just being there and being present. And I take this opportunity to thank Andrea as well as Natasha for organizing it and having me on the show, on the session to voice out what exactly I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, while we are waiting for Aliyah Karen to come back and join us and introduce herself, let me just introduce myself. I'm Natasha Alwis. I'm a marketing and branding consultant as well as a master of ceremony. I'm currently also a student who is on the way to obtaining her practitioner license for clinical hypnotherapy. So yes, I'm going to be in the place of a Zen somewhat next year. I come from the food and beverage background in terms of marketing and operations. I've launched over a dozen of bars, clubs, and restaurants under my belt. And now it's just with the whole COVID thing, I have been more involved in my community where I stay in a place that compromises over 1,000 units. I am essentially what is known as the Joint Management Community Secretary here. So now that we've all introduced ourselves, today our topic would be how do we empower one another during this difficult time via community effort. So can we have some ideas? How do one of us empower one another, empower the women, the children, the men in general? Does Kayatthri want to take place first?
Kayatthri, can I hear you?
You're mute.
I am mute. Okay, sorry about that. Because I was told to mute when I'm not talking, and I keep practicing that. See, so yeah. So the question is a very interesting question, right? When it's difficult time, what we do to empower each other and all that. See, it's not only during difficult time, but throughout the time, we have to be there for each other. All right. Let's talk about difficult time during this pandemic, when everyone was under lockdown and a lot of businesses were closed and stuff like that. It was a very hard time for us. But for another small community of people, it's not too small actually, that's a majority of them. Let me just talk about the situation in Malaysia, right? So the refugees, the single mothers who were, refugees in Malaysia, they cannot work. All right, it's under the in Malaysia, they don't have the right to work, and they are only depending on NGOs and some donations and from UN support and stuff like that. So things were really hard for them. Okay, I'm just going to talk one because there's too many things we can talk, right? So, and at that time, what we can do, right? So a lot of donation came in, a lot of supports came in, and as a person, let's say we are just sitting at home, right? We are just sitting at home and we want to contribute something. There's nothing much that we can do to be there physically to empower them or to support them, but the support needs to come from other sources, right? So there are a lot of NGOs. What I feel lacking here, right? There are a lot of NGOs trying really help, but they don't get the support from individual like us, right? For me, let me talk about myself, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm running 2 businesses. I'm busy, right? But does that stop me from actually taking a little bit of my time to actually support people? I mean, to answer the question, it starts from our mindset. We have to like start telling us that we have to spend a little bit amount of time. I'm not talking about the donation money and stuff like that. It starts from your mindset where you have to like kind of like, this is like part of a daily routine. One part of your routine is how are you going to help this marginalized, underprivileged people. So for me, when I start thinking from that, this is where a lot of things just came to me, So I start working with NGOs to help those people in need, sourcing for, being in a digital marketing person, I decided to use digital as a platform to just explore people, to expand, to reach out to people, to make these NGOs more visible, right? So yeah, these things comes in, and that's one of the way that we can actually help each other by changing our mindset that we have to be there. Another thing is moral support, even if you can't be there physically or financially to support them, because I don't expect everyone to chip in few hundred ringgit, but at least something moral, at least a moral support, or just spread the word. Isn't that the easiest thing to do? Just spread the word around, right? When people are there, you spread the word so that we know who needs the help, so we can actually channel them to the right place, right? So that's something that I strongly believe, right? Especially during this tough time, it's even so hard to put food on table, you see. And I'm not like saying otherwise, we just have to think about those underprivileged, marginalized community as well. So I would say that is one of the way that I would empower people to help during this tough situation.
Thank you very much, Kayatthri. That's really, really insightful. Hi, welcome back, Alia. Hi.
Hi. So sorry, there's a heavy
Alia,
rain here. Yeah. Can you hear me?
No worries. Yes, we can hear you. There's a slight echo, but we can hear
sorry,
you.
I didn't hear you.
Can you give us a short? Can you hear me? Hello? Aliyah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, cool. It's raining and it's a thunderstorm here.
Where are you now? Where are you based?
In Kuala Lumpur somewhere, but it's raining and it's a real thunderstorm. So I'll do a very quick one. My humble apologies, everyone, that I know I went off for a while. You wanted a brief intro, did you?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Sorry again. Hi, please, it's Alia for everybody. And generally, I have been with the non-profit and serving the public community for more than 2 decades now. And currently, I am pursuing my doctorate, my PhD. So I'm taking time off from work, but nevertheless, I've started up my own foundation, and I'm a social enterprise, doing some social entrepreneurship work, as well as being mentors for some of the youth out there. So that's my part-time while I'm struggling to study, actually. So that's a little about myself.
Thank you very much, Aliyah. We were just talking about how do we empower one another via community effort during these difficult times. So I'd just like to know more, in these difficult times, whether is it because of the current pandemic that we're going through or general tough times, how do you empower the society, the community, the women, the men in general?
Yeah, I think firstly, I am not really an advocate to say, I try to avoid the word empowerment for women, because I feel that women don't really need my endorsement, this personally, all right? I think we all have it in us. What we are lacking and what women need, I noticed the past few months, especially with the pandemic, was merely that support system, the friend, the go ahead, someone to tap and say you're on the right track, someone to endorse what you're doing is okay, someone to stand beside you, someone to give you that guide. So I think it was more that than for me to say, I'm empowering you to go out and start a business, I'm empowering you. So I felt that that was a too big a word to use, and actually we have it in us. All women have that in you. It's just that we need that. We always have been the people who take a step back because of careers, of family, children, husbands, you know. So I think that's always been ourselves as not the priority, but the number two. So now with everything that's happening with the COVID, with you know, people jobs being scarce, businesses plunging, new businesses coming up, and it's very difficult to survive regardless of what you're actually doing, unless you're in the glove and mask industry. I come from a medical background, so naturally that thing is booming. But otherwise I would say what I have been doing is I've naturally been reaching out to lots of people and listening. I think it's very important to listen to what kind of help people want out there. I think when people start something, I applaud. I think Roselin a couple of months ago have been sharing and very quickly pivoted. So my kudos to you and your good friend. So I think then listening and then helping them to voice out what they're doing, extending that help is very, very important at this moment. So if each one of us could identify what the other needs and help them by even broadcasting it, helping, shouting it out, I think the help becomes more and the burden becomes lighter.
Thank you very much, Aliyah. That is very insightful to know that you're in a medical background. Being from the medical background, I guess you would tell everybody to just stay at home, right? Stay at home.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You were mentioning something about Roselin that she has done.
Yes.
That you truly applaud her for doing it. Roselin, can you tell us more? And of course, on our topic, how do you empower one another through community effort?
Okay. Hi, Dr. Alia. Nice meeting you finally here. Okay, and thanks, Natasha, for that question. Okay, this is what we did. We wear a lot of hats, especially being the homepreneurs in business, being a mother, we carry a lot of roles. So what we did during the pandemic started, me and What's always would be having this kind of discussion. How do we actually empower these ladies to come out of their comfort zone and start a business? We are actually telling the stay-at-home mom who is doing a lot of things out there to actually do a business. We must be mad. So they probably will be thinking, you crazy, yeah. Handling kids is one side, running errands is one side, cooking, and you want me to somehow run a business. So we were like, it's only me and What's who's been making so much of noise out there. Then we thought, let's start a talk show where we empower this woman. Let's celebrate this homepreneurs who's already been making it. So the rest of the ladies, when they hear this story, because rather than just hearing about Vatsala and Roselin, they are hearing from a lot more ladies that has actually done like what Alia said. Empowerment is not the word, support is the word. So I created the support system with Vatsala. So every week, twice, we actually get a woman to come on our show and talk about their journey. And we get them to talk about the failures that they go through. We get them to talk about things that they don't normally share. It's more of like, tell me all the secrets, how you actually made it. We don't want to know the success story. So that, and we also started hashtag 10 ringgit campaign, where sometimes when you tell them earn so much of money, it's like for them, it's, can I make it? The confidence is not there. So the thing is, we tell them make 10 ringgit a day. It's not about the value, but it's about the habit of making it will eventually make you confident and you would want to do more than that. So we started it somewhere in April and it was going on and it's still going on until now. And then we realized how much it matters for these homepreneurs, the acknowledgement that we give them. At times, you see, we all was nervous coming on stage here, going global, talking to the entire world. I have my homepreneurs who's been like literally checking 1,000 times of things that we are doing. So I used to tell Vatsala, this is like they are literally going into national TV. Like, they'll ask me, is this okay? Is that okay? It's so cute. And I admire that the most. So I have a group in Homepreneur in Facebook, Homepreneur Empowerment Network. We have about 4.5K members there, where we focus on buying, selling, as well as learning. I emphasize a lot about learning because digital world is like moving so fast, and if they don't know what's happening right there and they keep doing whatever they've been doing, they will never be visible. So one that we actually did during this downtime that the whole world was going is we decided to support each another, because the support system is the only one. As a woman lah, I think because we are so emotional, we are so attached kan. So we need that love and support and say, hey guys, like even virtual coffee, sometimes we drink coffee and they say, hey, come, cheers. So those kind of things means a lot to us. So we started that off, Natasha, and we are glad that many of them came on board, started something during this pandemic, and some of their business really did very well.
That's really amazing to hear that you have a Facebook for entrepreneurs, empowerment, and you have about 4,500 people. And it's not just about buying and selling, but genuinely learning. Like you said, it takes 30 days to make a habit formed. So if you save 10 ringgit a day, the effort of saving forms a habit that automatically it just becomes really habitual. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. Let's see, Tanu.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Tanu?
Yes. Can you hear me all? Right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. See, before I start, this is a wonderful topic you have chosen, but we should all know what is empowerment, what is the meaning of empowerment. This is very important. Like for me, it's an authority or power given to someone to do something. Basically, we are helping them to be a leader instead of like helping them financially or, mentally. Of course, you can support them, but just let them be a leader. The process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life or claiming one's right. So this is a like point we have. Like example, if if an employee in a restaurant is dealing with the angry customer, so they should have the tools or authority to make the things right, instead of going running to the management or higher management. So we should all go for this. And why empowerment is important, this is also we should know. See, empowerment is considered a new management style for companies to help foster new career goals. Of course, it's a help to framework and employ expectations and sets goals to accomplish their main purpose of their work. It will enable an employee to control of their jobs and they use the skills they never knew they could. So this is the main thing. And apart from this, being an artist, I know, like I said, like I'm helping them, I'm helping other artists to reach up to that level where they can connect to the audience directly, instead of I'm helping them to some buyer and connecting there and tell them to, okay, let's buy his or her artwork. No, not like that. I am mentoring them to go on that level where they can do or their things on or their own, basically. So how do you feel empowered? First of all, I would say there are a few points which I would like to mention. First of all, take action and finish something. This is very important. Challenge the negative thoughts and take care of yourself, because if you're not taking of ourselves, how we can give somebody else that strength. So we should focus first of all on ourselves. We have to reach that level where we can help others as well. Connect with others, the connectivity, networking, talks. You should be a good listener. You have to be always there if someone would like to share something with you. So this is very important. Get clear on what you want, practice gratitude, and do something you love. So these are the points I would like to mention, like in the empowerment. This is very important to if you are really mentoring somebody.
Thank you so much. It's great to hear that a little bit of tips, how can we empower one another by first starting ourselves to empower ourselves. I've also come to know that you were also featured in a world book publishing house, United Kingdom, for spreading positivity during COVID time period. Could you just tell me a little bit more about this, or tell the audience a little bit more
Yes.
about this?
Absolutely. Actually, I would love to share because thing is like before I was in South Africa for 5 years and then Philippines for few years. And last year I came to India. When I came to India, I had few dreams, after long, 8 years of gap, I had some dream to establish myself in a new country like that. So as soon as I reached here, suddenly the lockdown has started and it was like, oh my God, where I'm stuck now. Now, like, I had some plans to, establish my art studio or art galleries, and suddenly everything was locked. And of course it was really difficult initially 10 to 15 days because I was just adjusting at home along with my family, along with my work as well. So but it's up to us to hold ourselves and think positively. Either I should go this way because I didn't see any end, basically. So either I should think that way or I can do something while sitting at home. So it's up to you how you think positively. And of course, as I said, like I'm a mother of two kids, so being at home, no help, nothing like that, you have to do everything on your own. It's not an easy job, but if there is a will, there is a way. If you see dreams, so definitely you are going to fulfill them. So it's up to us. So I just started waking up at early in the morning. Like I wake up 4 a.m. every day to do my works. And apart from that, I'm just I'm just focusing on my work along with my family. See, your family is your first priority always, because thing is like me, it's not about the woman or men. See, we both are homemakers. Maybe we have a different ways of doing our job, but yes, we both are homemaker, we are running our family. So basically I'm doing my work just for myself, not for my family. I'm earning just for myself, not for my family. So me time, yourself time, your thoughts, your positivity is very important. So what I did, like after that, during that COVID time, the process I went through, that frankly speaking, initially 10 to 15 days I was depressed, like how can I do my work, it is so difficult. But later on, when I came out from that trauma, basically I would say, so I thought, like, if I can do it, why not others? So that was my point actually. So I was just starting, the best part, you can say a blessing in disguise during this COVID time, you can connect many people, which earlier wasn't possible actually. Now you can connect, like we are connecting to Malaysia and South Africa. See, we are connecting now, so we can just pass on our messages to the others as well. So same process I started. I became a speaker during this COVID time only, and I connected to many people during the live sessions, Facebook live, Instagram live, where I was spreading positivity actually. So that was really appreciated. Some of the, what you call, the World Book Publishing House, they saw my work actually, and during that time also I came up with an idea to helping the other artists, other people. And of course I launched my own company during this COVID time only, which is called Art Palettes by Tanu. So where I'm just helping the other needy peoples as well. So these are the things I achieved during this tough time. So what is the point actually? The point is, when the difficult situation in front of you, it's up to you. Either you can come out with some solution or you just get into this. So they are like, I empowered myself. So I empowered in that way. I just came out from that solution. I'm just saying, don't look out to, we just look out of the box. I'm saying, just look inside the box first. Why are you looking out of the box? Because we always keep looking outside the box. You're not looking inside in you, and we keep forgetting ourselves. So you should know yourself, you should love yourself, and then go ahead. I'm definitely, I can beat anybody. You just give me a target, you will definitely achieve whatever you like to do. And yes, there are so many
Thank
things.
you very much, Tanu.
Yeah, so that is the
Thank you
point,
so much, Tanu.
Natasha.
It's
They
really, it's really nice to hear about the way how your journey came to how your book was, how you got published inside that book.
Yes, thank
Bhawna,
you,
are you
thank you.
here?
Yes, I'm
Bhawna?
here.
Okay, hi.
Okay, hi.
How
Thank
do
you.
you empower each other?
I'm so happy and excited to speak. Like, you put me up a question and there is so much to come out.
So go ahead and share with us and the audience, during the difficult times, how do you empower one another irregardless whether is it a general community or men or women or children, via community effort?
Okay, so begin with, you'll have to have a patience. I have so much to speak. Okay, as we say, charity begins from home. Empowering. Every day I have to empower myself. I need to declutter my thoughts and put up my, whatever purpose and the goal I have to serve myself and my family and the community. I begin it like it's the everyday job, to be very, very honest with you. Secondly, when it comes to me, I have 20 years of work experience into various diversified industries, UK and India both. And I've been serving charities in India as well as in UK. Since my mother passed away in 2000s, this is my story. So you might have to take little interest into that. So in 2017, in 2016, both of my parents were hospitalized in India. So I had to rush from UK to India to be with them, to look after them. So I stood with them for 5 months, like in the hospital outside ICU. So I was an observer and seeing how exactly the family is suffering for their kids and the loved ones in order to, for everything, be it the healthcare treatment, be it the moral support, be it just a companionship, to be around the ICU. So that's where the trigger and the motivation and the inspiration thought came up to me. Bhavna, you have to do something to give back to the society. So that's where my journey started with my charity, with our charity, not my charity, our charity, which belongs to my mother. That's the legacy of my mother. And I can do nothing. And it's been progressively doing so well. And I'm huge, huge, huge thankful to Mr. Vivek Jain, who is running the India team there in Delhi and doing everything I tell him to do. So what exactly we are doing as a community person, as a sense of responsibility, the individuality, there is so much passion to serve and give back to the world, that you cannot do it all by yourself. It has to be teamwork. It has to be collaborative. It has to be collective efforts from every single individual, be it part of the community, be it the individual who's the neighbor, be it the councils, be it the government, be it the private partners, be it any segment. It's not an individual purpose anymore. It's responsibility for every citizen in the world to come and serve for the welfare, for the greater good. So the kind of projects which we are looking after as a charity in India, with keeping all the 5 dimensions in mind, with the social mobilization, democratic, economic, political, environmental, cultural, and keeping the collective efforts together, with the media intervention, we are looking after healthcare, education, gender equality, and elderly concern. I'm very close to elderlies. I'm very close to old people. I'm very close to people who know so much of life. So by the processes that we have to be together to serve, and this is not only one subject which we have to look after. There is so much to do, and we can do only by being together as a hub, being under the same roof. So as being a peace ambassador with the Universal Peace Federation in London, there is a slogan which I'm so fascinated about. It's like one family under God, like we are one, totally one. So that intrigues me so much. So this is what motivates me to do more. And how we do that, we all know it, that we have to make a process, a model, and structurize it, and reach out to the various segments of the society, the community, to engage them, to bring them on the board, to make them feel known, heard, seen, and to motivate them to participate, be a leader, be a leader of your own community. What is happening is we are giving awards, we are giving appreciation, we are giving acknowledgement, and this is very, very important because it motivates, it brings you urge to do more, to serve more in a very honest way, in a very, very honest way. So that's what is the community empowerment all about. When it comes to social enterprise, by keeping the profit, the margins for the people who are marginalized and who are disadvantaged, uh, it is again, the every segment is struggling. So be it a policy thing, or reaching out to the government, or making a campaigning about it, or talking it out. So uh, following up the steps, we can do much better, and we can really, really improvising. And few of my friends here talked about mindset. That's what it is. I get depressed. I feel lonely. There is a mental health issues. There are so many things which we listen to from our friends, from our families. They have issues. My dad is 75 years old. He's in Delhi. He talks about me that my nickname is Babu. He calls me, Babu, I want to come to you. I want to come to UK. Because being in that one single room, looking at this pandemic and this unprecedented situation, it is difficult for every single individual, be it you, be it the people like us who are fortunate enough to serve. There are people who need us. It's like we're going to go old as well. We would need support from our coming generation. What we are leaving to for our generation is our responsibility. Is it our responsibility? So, like in Hindi, मैं थोड़ा भावुक हो जाती हूँ. Sorry, but this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. In case you have any more questions, do pop up. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bhawna. I love your passion and your fire when you deliver your message. It is clearly felt by the audience as well as your fellow speakers. Thank you so much for sharing. Kanchana?
I love what you're saying, Bhawna, and I think during our pandemic, there's a couple of things that happened, and the first one was that we all started to get to know each other better instead of the lives of celebrities. And when we started to reach out to each other and get to know our neighbors, we started to feel that we can actually give more. And just to offer you a framework that we use with brands and with people, that I think all of you are working with in social entrepreneurship anyway, is about giving and making it sustainable. And the first level is always on the individual level. So what can we give from where we are? Because I think often people get overwhelmed by the number of ways or things that are broken. I mean, Kayatthri said it at the beginning, where she was saying, oh my God, there's refugees and there's women abuse and there's this and there's this. And there's so many things that are happening right now that all of us don't know where to start. So if we can think about our own skills and think, what can we give? What do we have? Just to give you an example, in South Africa, we had starvation across the board because we stopped the grants for a little while, and the right people weren't getting food to the places that it needed to. So people just rallied around, and everybody just said, hey, what can we do? And it's not that hard. Sometimes we think, no, we need to give these big amounts of money, but we don't. I just went to the shop, I bought a couple of loaves of bread, rolls, whatever was available at the shop, cheeses, and gave it around to people. And then the second thing I did was I said, okay, there are people who are giving. So if you have extra money, then you can do that on an individual level. And the biggest problem that we have, I think, is the fact that we are afraid to reach out, because we are so afraid of sometimes being vulnerable to other people. And when we stop reaching out, that's actually when we lose our humanity. And during COVID, it showed more of ourselves. So on that individual level, it's very important to get out there and say, what can I do? Because it actually makes us feel better. And we all talked about just now being depressed, feeling lonely. But if we reach out ourselves, we stop feeling lonely, we stop feeling depressed. And that's fundamentally what we should all be doing from a personal level. The second level is the social level, where we get together like this. We help, we talk, we share, we join Facebook groups, we go into in real life groups around us. And it's only a click away. I mean, you guys with the village, sorry, I forgot what village it was that you guys asked. It's on mute, so I can't hear you.
Mom's Village.
Mom's Village. I mean, you guys are doing the social piece, which is bringing people together, showing people how together we can be better and stronger. And fundamentally, that is actually on online. But if you're too scared to do the in real life, you have online. And I think that's the fantastic thing that social media has done to be able to bring us all together. And lastly, there's the structural level. If you have power, if you have a voice, if you have influence, you can structurally change things. So there's a lot of people in this conversation who are working in charities, who are working in institutions, who are working in social media, that can push a message where we can change the status quo. And all together, we can change and we can make the difference that we need on a structural level. For me, I work on this level, which is with brands globally. And we are helping brands who want to help women with domestic silence in South Africa. We want to help people who are helping farmers to be able to make deals like fair trade. We're working with brands like Ola, who are trying to build the human happiness movement. So there are different ways that we can all affect change and impact one another in a community. And if you can, given an individual level, do it. If you can, on a social level, get involved and build momentum and build movements. And if you can, on a structural level, and change the status quo and make the world a little bit better for other people, use your influence and power in order to do that. And that's fundamentally what everybody is here sharing their message to do. And I think that if people in the audience sometimes feel helpless, you can find on any one of these levels something to do, a small act of kindness, a small act that makes a big difference and starts creating the ripple that we all need in the world. So I hope that somehow helps to be able to think through yourself and what you can do in order to get involved on one of these levels and make an impact and get involved, because I think that's how we're going to change the world together.
Thank you very much, Kanchana. That's really, really good to hear that you have, in terms of social empowerment, you have structured it to 3 different levels. And it's not how would I say it? It's not the amount, it's not the quantity of contribution that you make to the community. It's the quality of it. So thank you very much for sharing that with us, Kanchana.
Pleasure.
Vatsala, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi. So tell us more. How do you contribute to the community during these difficult times?
All right, so I have no more points now because as all these wonderful women have spoken all my points out. But however, I will just share a little bit of my experience during this pandemic. Right, so with the pandemic coming in, I deal with women who are being abused, right? So some of them were locked down with their perpetrators during this time, right? And often, these women usually just get connected to me through social media. They ask me, how can they rebuild their life? And I do the grassroots level. I basically bridge the gap between the organizational support, getting women to actually go out and seek help. So I do that facilitation work. I don't, of course, empowerment is the second phase, but I facilitate their journey to at least talk about what they're going through. Right. So from there, of course, making a police report, going to hospital are all the bigger steps for them. So when I tell them, okay, getting to know that what kind of situation they're in, and unfortunately, DV was a pandemic in pandemic, right? So being locked down with their perpetrator and they have nowhere to run, it feels like sitting down with a pressure cooker. They were, clueless on what they can do. So at that point of time was when I started the Ring a Ring for Roses campaign, whereby I called out the community intervention, whereby they come out and ring the bell. In the neighborhood, if you hear cries of abuse, this has been done in India by called Bell Bajao campaign. So it's just a similar campaign. But if you're so afraid to come out or even afraid of being infected with COVID and all that, you can still call 15999. It's the crisis hotline number. So that was actually something that I called upon the community intervention because, of course, we cannot get the survivors to come out from the homes during that point of time. And then we also, though the authorities were more focused on how to halt the spread of COVID, but this issue was actually affecting their mental health, definitely. And not only that, of course, with the crisis, a financial crisis and all that, these women needed to be supported. So that's when, this movement actually gave them a channel to, to voice out or to come forward, or at least for the community to come forward and say, look here, we are here to facilitate this, all right? Because as you intervene the violence moment, you're actually sending a strong message to the perpetrator. You see, I'm watching you. Of course, you're not going to go there and save the women, not like a superwoman or superman. Of course, you want to do that, but you just want to intervene the moment. And most importantly, sending a message across to the victim or the survivor of domestic violence that, hey, I'm coming forward for you. You can always come forward to me and ask for help. Because asking help is the hardest thing a survivor would do, right? So that aside for the advocacy part, so in Moms Village, we focus on 3 pillars, which is the advocacy, is whereby we do this Ring a Ring for Roses movement, and then the empowerment pillar is where we focus on starting up business, right? Starting up business, matching down. If they want to go back to work, we match them up with mentors to vet through their resume, prepare them to go for interviews and all that, so that they get a job, literally. And often not, women who are being abused, they have diminished self-value, self-worth, and to rebuild that, we need to give them to do something purposeful. As she does something purposeful, she will feel better for her own. Right, and last but not least, our community building part, where we have a support ecosystem. We do crowdfunding, we do crowdsourcing for those who want to start up business. We have this wonderful women who are just waiting to share their knowledge, to mentor other women who are just starting up business. So I think this ecosystem is what we are trying to build by using Moms Village as the vehicle. Basically facilitating all this. Of course, empowerment, like I said, I want to give the liberty to women who are being abused to decide whether she wants to leave, be in that abusive relationship by, having the abuse stop, or the power restoration happening, and being financially sustainable. So she can decide if she's going to leave, then she has some money of her own, and she doesn't need to go into crisis mode and all that. So often not, when they are hesitant to go and seek support from bigger organizations, police and hospitals, but being self-sustainable, being a little bit more empowered, allows them to take those decisions. So yes, that's all that we need, and that's what we did in Moms Village. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vats. Can I call you Vats? Vatsala? Okay, wow. It's such an amazing and inspiring panel of experts, motivational speakers that we have here. As for me, myself, I myself have organized a talent and auction charity party for the typhoon victims of Typhoon Haiyan back in 2013. After that, I have been off the scene for a bit, getting used to being a mom of 2. I've also was a victim of emotional and mental abuse, so things were a bit rocky for me. But so now back on how have I supported the community? Supported the community during tough times via community effort. So I live in a condo which has about 1,000+ units, and during this lockdown, it has been very difficult for the elderly in our community to have their groceries taken care of. So what I do is I bring in all my food and beverage supplier, because I used to work from the food and beverage community. I bring them all in and I get their products on their prices, where I cut away the middleman, so you don't have to pay for electricity and everything. There is no money or that I charge for this kind of service. It's just a community effort just to help one another. So together, when we buy as a bulk purchase, we save money together. In a way that's how I see how I earned for our community. On top of that, our community here is a diversity of many different types of people here, and it's a very close-knit community where we think for one another and we help each other, and that is what empowerment to me means as well. But what I always believe is that for me to be able to say yes to enable others, I first have to say no to myself. So no to toxicity, no to chaos, no to negative aura, no to brown nosing, no to higher than mightier thou. When you say no to these kind of people in your environment, whether it's in your personal life or your professional life, that's when you can say yes to enable others. Like all our e-posters, we say yes, I am Natasha, I am enabling others to empower others as well. So that's it from all of us here. Our session is up. We thank you so much to the audience that have joined us to speak to us, to hear from us, to listen to us, especially a few of us with such fire, power, and determination, we strongly believe that with burning determination in our heart, great things can be achieved.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all of you. I'm just coming back because I want to thank for the audience. It's amazing what you have accomplished here, ladies. You touched so many topics. I'm really thankful for you. All of you did many amazing comments, and I think the people will really benefit from it. I will read out a few comments so that you can also hear it. Joseph is here. This is a fantastic panel of power women sharing their insights and words of wisdom on men empowering women, right? And then we have Sangari here. Hi, Andrea from Malaysia. Golam Alish is here. Go Alish is here too. Patty Saidin is saying everyone is so wonderful. Patricia is here. Greetings from Patricia Yap of Morning News. So blessed by all of your stories. We have also thumbs up to all of you from Patty. And Natasha, my company, did from fundraising also. You can see it on the
Hi, Patty. Good to hear that. Really good to hear that.
So they are doing already their community efforts. I was asking them what they are doing for their communities, and she answered that question. And Christine Chen is here, Herodato, Alia, Marie is here also supporting us. So thank you very much. It was an amazing session. It will be all recorded just for the audience. If you missed this session, you can watch it on Facebook via the website or on YouTube also. And you also, if you would like to check it back and watch yourself and deal with it and digest it a little bit, what everyone else said here, and learn from each other, then just go to the pages and keep it for yourself. Thank you very much. It was amazing,
Thank
ladies.
you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea, for pulling this summit together.
Keep connected.
Thanks,
and see you at
guys.
the next session.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
The world is a forest in which all lose their way. Through different paths we go astray. Walking our way against the stream of life, stumbling upon unexpected shards of struggle. Our future may seem carved in stone, but our heart knows the truth. They say the best way to see life is through the eyes of a child. How can I understand you if I've not gone through the life you have lived? Can you understand me if you have not visited my world? One should be acknowledged by their determination, not by the color of their skin. Do not compare yourself with others. Compare yourself with who you were before. When I falter, I should hope that a helping hand will lift me up. For some people, acceptance is not a given. Their freedom of choice is denied. Yet, like millions of butterflies swarming the lake, their lives matter too. Hear the pain in silence, even when it's unspoken. One can get trapped in a box that's too small to breathe in. I shall overcome and rise. When I'm done wiping off my tears, I shall give myself permission to laugh. I will flow into a whole new way of being in the world, empowered and healed. We are different. We are diverse. It's time to think about empowerment differently. The power of moving forward is fueled by colorful connections. From now on, the future will be written by all of us. But now, with my empowered voice.